So another word used for technology is know-how, and it's important in any economy that there are entrepreneurs that quote unquote know how to do things, how to use technology, how to increase productivity. And I've discovered that in most cases, the way at least it's worked for me is that I've learned how to do things not only in the classroom, but more often than not, I've been self-taught. And I do want to talk about autonomous education, and that's being self-driven or self-taught education, and why it's important. Now, in this particular assignment, I'm going to ask you to compare and contrast a number of different business applications. Now, I'm going to only go over a few today, but my expectation is that you will take the time to learn. And today we have a wonderful thing called YouTube, and there are many how-to videos on YouTube how to do certain things. And I hope that you have a level of curiosity that would prompt you to explore technology and how to do things. So this is just a simple screenshot of Microsoft 365. It's changed its name over the years, Office 365. This is now actually being branded as Microsoft 365. And I'll show you this presentation, in fact, which I have been writing, and it is about autonomous education. In fact, this is a version of Microsoft PowerPoint. Now, I recognize many of you are familiar with Google Slides, and perhaps that is your presentation tool of choice. It's good to know. On the other hand, if you want to understand what tools are the most widely used tools, universal, you have to consider tools like PowerPoint. PowerPoint, just so you know, if you think about what you can do in some of the Google applications, the Microsoft applications take it really to another level, way beyond what you can see or experience in the Google applications. Now, I recognize that sounds a little biased coming from somebody who used to work for Microsoft. On the other hand, though, I challenge you to explore and see what, in fact, is possible. So this is an example of a PowerPoint, and we can show you this presentation. This is giving the presentation. And the thing you'll find about a PowerPoint is that you can get very creative. This is a creative type application. So let's go ahead and get that back to the main PowerPoint homepage here. Okay. And let's go back to PowerPoint. And the first thing you would do is, if you're creating a PowerPoint, is either choose one of these templates here or choose a blank presentation. Now, if I chose a blank presentation, we're really starting from scratch. These are what are known as slide layouts. Now, what's really convenient using artificial intelligence, the program kind of walks you through the step-by-step process on how to create your PowerPoint. So, for example, over to the right, it's prompting me to choose some kind of design. So I'll just go with the first design here and see what that looks like. Double click on that, and voila, we have a nice image for our background. And this looks like it has a little bit of animation we can play here, which is kind of cool, especially around the Olympics now. If we wanted to add a new slide, then we just simply choose here to add a new slide. Now, this area on top is known as your ribbon, and we click on New Slide. And we can choose, for example, we can choose a different slide layout. So, for example, if we wanted to just choose title and content. We click on that, and that would open up a new type of slide layout, and we could say, label this, like I'm going to say favorite applications, and I'm just going to, for simplicity here, for this demonstration, I'm just going to list products like Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, which is a spreadsheet program, Microsoft PowerPoint, presentation tool, Microsoft Outlook, which is an email tool, email and calendaring. And so that's just an example of how we create that particular slide. Now, you'll notice over here to the right, there are a couple different designs that we can apply to this slide. Okay, and this just shows how quickly I can update or refresh the design. So that's how easy it is. And then really, if you were anxious to get started, you can add in, you can just do your presentation. We can do animations. So for example, on this particular slide, if we wanted to do an animation, we choose animation, and we select on here animations, and maybe we just want to have each of these fly in. So we can choose, these are the entrance type of animations, and then you have the exit animations. But if we wanted to fly in, we could do that, and we can fly in effect options. Maybe we want to fly in from the bottom left, okay? And so I'm going to choose that. So if we started our presentation, we just click on our presentation, we would see the first slide, and then click advance the next slide, and we should see some animations happening here. Okay, there we have it. From the bottom left up, that is sliding in. Okay. All right. Now let's move on because we've got a lot to cover here today. I'm going to go back to the Microsoft Office home, and I'm going to click and open up Microsoft Word. Now, Microsoft Word is a tool that we use to do our word processing. It falls in the category of word processing. And there are many things that we can do, of course, with a word processor, including writing any number of papers for your English class, social studies, and so forth. You can also build your resume in Microsoft Word, or a cover letter, which I'm going to have you do. I want you to write a cover letter for your resume using Microsoft Word. Now, we can look for more templates and find things that maybe that might be helpful. So here's a resume cover letter. And once we open that up, we can just simply replace our own personal information. So Sensei Lou, and our address and so forth. And really, it can be as easy as that. Back in the days, we used to have to learn and memorize specifically how these letters were constructed. And perhaps you did the same when you took your keyboarding class. But Word is an extremely powerful tool. If we wanted to add in here into this letter a table, we just choose our location where we want to insert that, and then choose to insert. I'm going to choose to insert a table that is maybe 3 by 2. And we have that there, and we can build our table. Okay? So if I wanted to label these knowledge, skills, abilities, okay, we could do that. That would be easy enough. And maybe I want to just go ahead and bold that. Okay? So that's Microsoft Word. Now, if we wanted to, we go back again and take a look at something like Microsoft Excel. Now, with Microsoft Excel, this is a tool, this is in the category of spreadsheets. And this is a tool that you might want to create some financial report. If you were taking another CTE business class that required you to do a financial report, you would use a tool like Microsoft Excel. If you were putting together a household budget, which I'm asking you to do, it would be very simple to create a household budget using Microsoft Excel. So let me go ahead and zoom in on this a little, and we want to just call this budget. Okay, and we're going to give some labels to our budget. So we can say a label like rent, okay, car, utilities, groceries, okay, and let's just say fun. Okay? Got to have some fun. And then we just start labeling things and say, you know, rent, maybe we want to pay $1,500 a month in rent. Our car payment is $300 a month. Utilities, let's say we're going to pay $100 a month. Groceries, paying, say, $300 a month. Fun, we want to have some fun. There we go. And something else, you know, you might want to add is insurance. Insurance is actually one of the bigger ticket items that we find that we need to budget for. And so let's say, you know, insurance was $300 a month. And there's any number of insurances, from car insurance to renter's insurance and so forth, life insurance, health insurance, we can go on and on. Now, in this particular category, if we wanted to sum everything that's in this particular column here, all we need to do, it can be as simple as putting your cursor in the cell, in this case B8. There, we want the results, and we come up to the ribbon here, and there is an auto sum button. If we double clicked on that, okay, it selects the range, hit enter, and voila, we have that done. We can also format these cells so they are formatting properly. So for example, if we wanted to add maybe the $, we can do that, okay, and if we wanted to put these in euros, we can do that as well. That's euros, all kinds of fun things like that. Now, if you in fact wanted to create a chart of this, you could select your range where you want to do the chart, and then you would just choose insert and find the chart that you want, and there we have it. And we can add, as you can see, we can add a chart title here. We can add more data here. So for example, if we just right click on these here, we can format each of these bars. And if we wanted to label those, we can put our data labels on, and we can see those euros out there. Very quick and simple, nothing too fancy, but we have now a household budget and a bar chart there. Let me go back and show you Outlook. We click on Outlook. This is an example of Outlook. If we go back, and there's not much I can demonstrate to you here, but if you want to send a simple email message, you click on the create a new message, and we just send that email. I'm going to send an email to myself, which is sensei.lu@gmail.com. And I can carbon copy. CC stands for carbon copy. And then this BCC up here, just so you know, stands for blind carbon copy. On occasion, you may want to write an email to somebody and blind carbon copy somebody, which simply means that you have the ability to copy somebody on a message without the recipient knowing that another person has been copied. It's more an FYI. Add the subject line, and this is a sample email. And this is what you see here is a signature line. We can add those signatures in if we want to. That's a feature that is available. And I could say, dear students, here is an example of an email. And then I just choose to click send on this email. And that's it, really.